I was getting my daughter some ice cream and just randomly just got the call. I was shocked. I was shocked, but once Jerry and all those guys called me, Shotty and everybody.
The blockbuster trade that just jolted the entire NFL. 1 week before the new season kicks off, the Dallas Cowboys traded star pass rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers for a haul that includes 2 first-round picks, and which has already reshaped the playoff landscape. New Cowboys defensive tackle Kenny Clark was getting his daughter, Kanai, some ice cream on Thursday when he got a phone call. The call was to inform him that he'd been traded from Green Bay to Dallas in exchange for Micah Parsons, one of the most significant trades in recent NFL history. I was shocked, but once Jerry and all those guys called me, Shotty and everybody, I just felt wanted. It's a blessing. I'm appreciative of it. Clark said. Clark, 29, has spent all 9 of his NFL seasons with the Packers, where he was a 3-time Pro Bowler, as he begins the next chapter of his career in Dallas. He says the Cowboys are getting a player that is difficult to stop when playing at his best. No nonsense. You're going to get a dog. Somebody that's just all about football. Clark said, I'm here to ball. I'm here to be my best self. I feel like when I'm my best self, there's nobody messing with me. That's what I bring to the table. I'm here to play my ass off. With 6 days to go until the Cowboys kick off the season against the Philadelphia Eagles, Clark has to quickly get acclimated to his new teammates as well as his role in the locker room. First and foremost, just establishing myself by how I play, Clark said. And just being myself, establishing myself as a leader. I lead by example. I truly believe in being a pro and doing things the right way. The good news is Clark has familiarity with his newest running mate, Osa Odigizwa. The two both went to UCLA, and Clark was teammates with Odigizwa's older brother Owamagbe Owa Odigizwa. I'm just excited to meet the guys, meet all those guys and play with those guys and just break bread with them. Clark said. Jerry and Stephen Jones said in Thursday's press conference that stopping the run was one of the biggest reasons why they traded Parsons. A premier defensive tackle was one of the requirements from their trade partner, and they feel they've got that in Clark. Over the course of his career, Clark has amassed an 11.1% run stop rate and 14.2% run tackle rate. In 2024, Clark registered a 4% run stuff rate, the highest of his career, on 10 run stuffs, which was the second most of his career. While the numbers are certainly good over the course of his career, Clark believes that having success stopping the run goes far beyond just his efforts. When it all comes down to stopping the run, it's all about physicality and setting edges. Clark said, I think as long as we're doing our job as a defense, it all takes 11. It takes all of us understanding how to stop the run, and it takes all of us holding each other accountable every day to know our responsibilities and play the run so we can be able to rush the passer. While stopping the run is of paramount importance for Dallas, Clark has shown that he can rush the passer too. He's tallied 35 career sacks, with a career-high 7.5 coming in 2023. In Matt Eberflus' attack front scheme, Clark's versatility could get him back up to a number similar to that of his Pro Bowl year 2 seasons ago. I pride myself on being an all-around defensive tackle, but I'm primarily a nose tackle. That's my bread and butter. Clark said, I can slide out to 3 in pass rushing situations, or whatever the case may be, but wherever they put me, I'm going to make plays. His first chance to try and help on the defensive line will likely come in 6 days against the reigning Super Bowl champions, with a prolific rushing attack being an early test for how good Dallas' run defense really is. For now, Clark is getting acclimated to his new home and is happy to be wearing a star on his helmet. It's a historic franchise. I wouldn't want no other thing other than to be sitting here. Clark said, I've got a chance to win a Super Bowl here, and that's all I could ask for. That's what I want to do. I want to bring a Super Bowl back to the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys traded 4-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers on Thursday. In exchange, the Cowboys received 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round draft picks, 2026 and 2027. Parsons agreed to a 4-year, $188 million contract with the Packers that includes $120 million fully guaranteed at signing and $136 million in total guarantees, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, sources told ESPN. Parsons released a statement on social media Thursday, saying in part, "I never wanted this chapter to end, but not everything was in my control. My heart has always been here, and it still is. Through it all, I never made any demands. I never asked for anything more than fairness. I only asked that the person I trust to negotiate my contract be part of the process." He will return to Dallas with the Packers in week 4 this season, when Green Bay plays the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Earlier Thursday, ESPN reported that the Cowboys were willing to listen to trade offers for Parsons, and talks escalated quickly. In a 46-minute news conference later Thursday, Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones said that he ultimately made the trade to help the team win now. "This was a move to get us successful in the playoffs." Jones said, "This was a move to be better on defense, stopping the run. This was a move to, if we get behind, not be run on. And it was a deliberate move, a well-thought-out move to make this happen." The trade ends what at one time appeared to be a career-long relationship between the Cowboys and Parsons. Before the 2021 draft, Parsons said his dream was to play for the Cowboys, and after a trade down, Dallas selected him with the 12th pick. As late as last December, Parsons told ESPN he wanted his name to be remembered like Hall of Famers Bob Lilly, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith, whose jersey numbers have never been worn again. But those feelings ended during an acrimonious negotiation on a contract extension that was never finalized, and a trade request that was made August 1st. Jones said that the Cowboys would not trade Parsons, but the package in return was evidently worthy of a deal. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst has said that rarely, if ever, does he think a team is one player away. He reiterated that August 27th, when asked if a player like Parsons could put his team over the hump. Jones could hope the trade of Parsons has a similar effect to that of the 1989 trade of running back Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings, which the Cowboys used to build their rosters that won 3 Super Bowls in the 1990s. Walker was 27 at the time of the trade. Parsons is 26. In March, Parsons set up a meeting with Jones that he wrote in his trade request was to discuss leadership, only to have Jones begin talking about a contract. Jones disputed that assertion and said the two came to an agreement on the length, total money, and guaranteed money on an extension. When the Cowboys attempted to talk to Parsons' agent, David Mulugheta, it was met with resistance, and neither side presented an offer. On numerous occasions, Jones blamed the lack of a deal on Mulugheta. Parsons attended the mandatory June minicamp and was at training camp, going through a hold-in. He never practiced, but went through some walkthroughs and meetings. He said in June, and again at the start of training camp, that he was suffering from back tightness. He had at least 2 MRIs, and Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer said the last one, which occurred August 22nd before the final preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons, came back clean. On August 26, Schottenheimer said Parsons was cleared medically by the team staff. Parsons was named to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 4 seasons. The only other Cowboys to start their careers with 4 Pro Bowl selections are Zach Martin and Hall of Famers Smith and Mel Renfro. Parsons was a finalist for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. He and Hall of Famer Reggie White are the only players in NFL history to record at least 12 sacks in each of their first 4 seasons. Parsons' 52.5 sacks are the 5th most in a player's first 4 seasons. But now he is gone, joining the Packers, leaving the Cowboys with a gaping hole on defense. The Cowboys have Dante Fowler Jr., Marshawn Nealand, Sam Williams, Donovan Ezeuruaku, this year's second-round pick, and James Houston remaining as pass rushers on their 53-man roster. They have combined for 73 sacks in their careers. Though Parsons has never had fewer than 12 sacks in any of his first 4 seasons, the Packers haven't had a player reach double-digit sacks since Parsons entered the league in 2021. Zadarius Smith had Green Bay's last double-digit sack season from an individual player, totaling 12.5 in 2020. Rashawn Gary, the Packers' first-round pick in 2019, led them with 7.5 sacks last season. Gary has never had more than 9.5 sacks in season. Before the trade, the Packers' top edge players were Gary, 2023 first-round pick Lucas Van Ness, who has 7 sacks in 2 seasons, and 2022 fifth-round pick Kingsley Enagbare, who has 9.5 career sacks. Gutekunst did not sign an edge player in free agency, and he waited until the 4th round of the draft to add to the position. He used a 124th pick on Texas defensive end Barron Sorrell, but it appears Sorrell's preseason knee injury will keep him out to start the season. The biggest change the Packers made to their pass rushing unit before this trade was to switch defensive line coaches this offseason. Coach Matt LaFleur replaced Jason Reed-Brovich with former Patriots defensive coordinator DeMarcus Covington. Clark, who spent his first 9 NFL years in Green Bay, has 35 sacks in his career. 13 months ago, Clark, 29, signed a 3-year, $64 million contract extension that included a $17.5 million signing bonus. The Packers paid him more than $37 million of that between last year and a $7.5 million roster bonus this past March. He has remaining base salaries of $1.3 million this season, $8.8 million 2026, and $18.3 million 2027, plus an $11 million roster bonus due next March. None of that, however, is guaranteed. Clark had one of his least productive seasons in 2024, with 37 tackles and just 1 sack. However, he revealed this offseason that he played almost the entire season with a painful toe injury that he sustained in the season opener against the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil. He underwent surgery on his right foot in January shortly after the season. The Packers were planning to start Clark and Devontae Wyatt as their 2 interior defensive linemen, but they kept 6 defensive tackles, one more than usual, on their original 53-man roster this week. The other starting spot will come down to Carl Brooks, Colby Wooden, rookie 6th-round pick Warren Brinson, or undrafted rookie Nazir Stackhouse.